What is going on, guys? Metal Music Junkie here, aka John Browning. And today I am going to be ranking every concert I went to in 2024. Now, I went to 6 concerts this year, and none of them are bad. I'm just ranking them from the one I like the least to the one I like the most. So, no more time wasting, let's get into it. Coming in at number 6 is the GWAR show that I saw at Club LA in Destin, Florida, June 16th. Now, I went with my dad for this one as part of like a Father's Day thing, and the first band that came on was Squid Pisser, which I kind of describe as the look of Slipknot with the music of Goatwhore, and you pump it up with some like methamphetamine or something. They were pretty wild. At one point, the singer kind of jumped from the stage and started moshing with the crowd, so thought that was pretty cool. And then X-Cops was next, and which is basically members of GWAR, but in cop costumes, and I'll admit, they're pretty entertaining. So I enjoyed them. And then Weed Eater came, and I'm sorry to anyone who is a fan of them, but I thought they were pretty boring. I like doom metal and sludge, but they were just not for me, so I did not like them at all. Then GWAR came on, and it was a good show as always. This was my second time seeing GWAR. I saw them back in 2022. This was not as good as the first time I saw them, but it was partially because me and my dad ended up leaving early, was because, well, we were hurting. My back was hurting, my dad's leg was hurting, so we were like, let's go. But from what we did see, we enjoyed. Alright, at number 5 was the Common Enemies Tour featuring Body Snatcher, Spite, Throne, Mount for War, and Psycho Frame. Now, I walked in as Psycho Frame was ending, and from the little bit I heard from them, they sounded pretty decent. And Mount for War came on, who are basically like a hardcore band, and they were pretty nuts. The singer had kind of a really like nasty voice. I quite dug that, and I got to meet one of the members of that band. I didn't catch his name, but cool dude. And one of the things I remember is that they did a song about killing pedophiles, which someone who deeply cares about the safety of children, I dug with that big time. So yeah, or as JD DeLay would say, throw them all into a wood chipper. Shout out to JD DeLay, by the way. He's dope. Then Throne came on, and I wasn't really into Throne before I saw them, but after seeing them, they were quite good, so I could say I'm a fan of them now. Then Spite came on, and Spite stole the show. They were really dope, and I actually got to meet their singer, Darius, after the show, and he was a cool dude. I thought he was cool. And then Body Snatcher came on, and this was my second time seeing them. I saw them open for Lorna Shore back in 2023, and that was how I got into them. And they were really good. So, if you haven't checked out Body Snatcher or Spite, check them out. Awesome deathcore bands. Alright, coming in at number... that was at Club LA, May 10th, which ended up being my last day of high school, as I was about to graduate. I'm in college now, so that was cool. Alright, coming in at number 4 was Obituary on June 2nd, also at Club LA. This will be the last time I will mention that venue for this video. Yeah, I saw a lot of shows at Club LA. Opening band was a local band called Rotted Remains, and they were okay. But Obituary came on, and they kicked ass as always. Obituary, one of my favorite bands to see live, especially in the world of death metal. And I mean, I just always love seeing John Tardy on stage just going nuts, headbanging. And they're still kicking ass to this day, so yeah, if you have a chance to see Obituary, please see them. All right, coming in at number 3. This next one was a couple days after I saw the Body Snatcher tour. Judas Priest at the Mobile Civic Center in Mobile, Alabama. And opening act was Sabaton, and I will admit, I'm not a Sabaton fan. Their music is not my thing. But they put on an entertaining set. Still didn't make me want to go out and listen to their music, but I thought they were entertaining. But the main act we came for, Judas Priest, holy shit. It was a long time coming, and I finally got to see them. I've been wanting to see them for years. They were like a bucket list band for me, and the band's still kicking ass to this day. I mean, their newest album, Invincible Shield, made my top 10 lists for albums for 2024. And Rob Halford still has it, and he's like 70-something years old, so Normally, I kind of roll my eyes at an older band still continuing because I'm like, really? You're still continuing even though you're like way past your prime? Cough, cough, Motley Crue. But Judas Priest is one of those bands that still kicks ass to this day. So, I highly recommend seeing Judas Priest if you get the chance. And I totally recommend because, you know, they're getting up there in age. Alright, coming in at number 2 is a concert I did a review for. And that was the Ashes of the Leviathan tour featuring Lamb of God, Mastodon, and opening acts Kerry King and Malevolence at the Ameris Bank Amphitheater in Alpharetta, Georgia. Now, I drove from Florida to Georgia for this. And boy, it was worth the drive because it was awesome. Malevolence opened and they kicked ass. Great, newer, metalcore band that y'all should keep an eye on. And my only complaint about them was that the crowd was so dead during their set. That was my only complaint about it. But other than that, great show. Then Kerry King came on, and I'll admit, I was not a fan of Kerry King's solo. Thought it was pretty generic, but live, it sounded awesome. And the singer Mark, who also is the singer of Death Angel, he had a really good stage presence. And Kerry King played a couple Slayer songs, Raining Blood and Black Magic, which I went fucking apeshit for, and gave myself whiplash. I don't recommend doing that, but hey, it seemed right at the moment, okay? And then Lamb of God was next, not Mastodon, because actually it was actually their hometown show, so Mastodon was the last band. So Lamb of God came on next, and they played the entire Ashes of the Awake album, which is one of my favorite metal albums of all time. It was awesome hearing that in its entirety, and they also played, and also did Redneck and Walk With Me in Hell, which was awesome. And then Mastodon came on, and they played Leviathan in its entirety, which was probably my favorite Mastodon album. It's hard between that and Crack the Sky, but Leviathan's an amazing album. And they also played some other songs, like More Than I Could Chew, and some other songs I'm not thinking of at the moment. So yeah, this was an awesome show. I did a review for it. You can go and check it out. Alright, coming in at number 1 was the first show I went to this year, and this is probably the best show I've ever seen. Tool at the Mississippi Coast Coliseum in Biloxi, Mississippi. January 27th, 2024. And Elder opened, and they were pretty good. But the main act was like Tool. Now, I've already seen Tool before at Welcome to Rockville, and they were really great, but this... Now, I was already a Tool fan before. I mean, I've been a Tool fan since 2020. But seeing them went from being just a fan to a die-hard fan. Like, it was mind-blowing seeing Tool. Like, the whole, like, and I had a really good view, so I got to see all the, so I got a good view of Danny Carey playing his drums, and holy shit. This guy's not even human. What the fuck? And hearing Maynard still sounds great to this. He is one of my favorite vocalists of all time. Like his voice just gives me chills. I could go on and on about this fucking concert. It was dope. And of course they didn't allow any filming except for the last song, which was Stinkfist. But they played mostly songs from Fear Inoculum and 10,000 Days. But overall, it was an awesome show. Anyway, that is it for this video. Please like, comment, subscribe. Trio's the way you want to be treated. Don't gatekeep, and rock on.